This is my 2008 C6 Corvette that I bought as a salvage title off of somebody who had bought it at auction, and he didn't have the time or the money or something to fix it, so he sold it to me, and my plan is to turn this into a 2020 Grid Life Time Attack vehicle. So first thing first, let me give you a little tour of the car, and then we'll start tearing it apart. So it was in a front-end collision. I got a Carfax on the vehicle, and it said that it had hit a concrete barrier on a highway. So this headlight is missing, and you can see in there's a bunch of torn up fiberglass and everything. There is some frame damage here. That's going to be our main concern for repair. And then the other thing I noticed is if you look at this wheel, it's kind of pointing out that way. And then this wheel, it's a little bit hard to see right now, is kind of pointing out that way. So that could just be a steering end link, or might be a steering rack. I'm not sure quite yet. Then also we've got a fender that is a little ripped here, and it's got some more scuffing down here. But we're going to try and repair that ourselves since they are made out of fiberglass. It should be easy enough to repair. And then over on this side, very similar situation, some ripping in the fiberglass here. And then this whole piece is still part of the fender, and that's also ripped. Here is pretty messed up, so we will probably end up replacing that. If we walk around here, this side looks pretty good, nice and clean. Nice. And then over on this side, there is a little bit more damage. I'm not sure if this was from the accident or not. But you can see the fiberglass is also ripped on the quarter panel here. And then this bumper is dented in a little bit. And there's some spider cracks in there. And then there's some scuffing here, but that should be able to be polished out. Step one with this car is just to return it back to stock. Remove all of the damaged parts, and then come up with a parts list and order some parts, do some repairs, do whatever we got to do to get this back to as new condition as we can on a budget. That's the goal. So I'm going to set up the tripod here and get time-lapsing of tearing down this front end. Got the front bumper off. There wasn't much holding it on. It looks like the last guy just had it zip tied on pretty much. And took the impact absorber off as well. So some good news is this frame rail here looks straight. Looks like where the headlight mounts, the headlight bucket. This thing, which I think is supposed to be mounted like that, maybe something like that. That's busted, but we might be able to just re-adhere that with some panel bonding adhesive or something. And then this is a little messed up, this fender liner in here, but good thing is this frame rail is good. And then also, surprisingly enough, this part of the frame rail, which normally they're bolted to the frame rails, and they're a crash bar, but this looks like it's welded together all one piece, which isn't terrible, because it looks nice and straight in our case. But you can get a better view inside here. Let me try popping the hood here. The frame rail here, and it's got a rip in it, which is kind of surprising actually. And then you can see how this is the straight part of the frame rail, and then it kind of goes in and then it comes back out. So to get a full idea of what we're dealing with here, this what is this, our coolant reservoir, and this rad shroud will have to come off, and we'll take this inner fender liner out as well, so we can get a good understanding of what's going on inside of here. But first, I think I do want to try and take it for a test drive and see how it drives, see if it drives straight, make sure the engine's all good, because I haven't checked any of that yet. But you can get a better idea of the wheels here. You can see that one's pointed that way a little bit, that one is pointed that way a little bit. So since that this headlight's missing, I'm going to assume, and with this frame rail damage, I'm guessing this tie rod is probably bent somehow. So I'm going to try and we're going to adjust this tie rod to bring both wheels straight. And then that way we can go for a test drive and kind of see how the car drives. So you can see we've got a 2x6 here that is flat up against the wheel with the end of a measuring tape on either end. And then on this side, we have the exact same setup. And then you can use this to kind of determine your toe. So we want both wheels to be facing the same way. So right now we have 74 1/4. And a little tiny bit less than that. So we have a little bit of toe out right now. So we're going to bring this wheel in, and then that should line everything up. At 74 1/4 and 74 1/4. So that means that we're straight. And we'll just check on this side too, make sure our measuring tapes are still good. And our piece of wood is still flat, which it is. So it looks like we're straight. So we're just going to tighten up this nut here, tighten it down with our wrench, and then I think we'll be ready to go for a test drive. Alright, so we're back from our test drive. It went really good. The car drove pretty straight. The wheel was a little bit off center, but that's from the alignment that we just did. Once I get a real alignment, then it'll be nice and straight, I do think. So the first thing before I tear into any more mechanical stuff is I want to clean the interior because it's pretty nasty. I don't know, kind of old gross stuff the previous owner had. So I'm just gonna get to cleaning, and we'll see if we can find any surprises.